Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando, Deadeye. Commando, Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Saboteur chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half? My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. fight looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. On a leash. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Carving it up. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Wonder what you could make with that. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't... He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark. A facial scar to remember the past. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle, and the small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eater... Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
He's
heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
And you were wrong. There's always more dark than light.
There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. That hurt 'em. Looks good. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They don't just let anyone see the Sifu, but there's something different about you.
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne zdace. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of... There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He expected you'd join them. You understand that the universe runs on the principle that the one who dominates others runs the show. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both share dark thoughts, so they want to wage a war. A war where all that's left behind is casualties. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers and sense you still have it in you. The will to do good. Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait.
Ilem dat nepe.
Says next time you run into the old one again, tell him how scrunched he is. Says your toy bot looks like it needs lots of sparks. Says you should take it easy. Agrees with you that the only way to get a fresh start is to set everything on fire. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. It's not far from here. Says it's good to meet a fellow Yin Jagni cousin. Keep hoarding things the way you... Says you should take care. Says, seriously, go find Noko. She's over in the Gnote pen, taking care of the Gnotes. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Tells you nothing good happens after dark, but maybe that's all right by you. Says goodbye to you. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Needs a logical reason to reveal the secret. Says it's hard to keep a secret from someone as smart as you. Might as well tell you where the place is, as you'll figure it out eventually. Cackles about how you and the Jagni tribe are going to strip every nest home clean to... Says you'll meet again. Says the Tree of Life's health is... Says talking to you was interesting. Says Lotus should quit trying to float it out and just drown the world. Seems surprised you have to go. Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find... Let's see. Close encounter. That might come in handy. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Wow, wow, wow. looks good. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Knowing how to swim won't solve life's hard problems, but at least one of them won't be drowning. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need to learn how to swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. She's not unhappy with your progress, but you still have a lot to prove. You should know, practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She understands, but sometimes you need to do what you have to and not what you want to. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future you're risking by not caring for the environment. The next generation will pay. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just does what's right. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. But that's his point, to take something useless, change it, and put it to good use again. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. She suggests you better hurry up then. You won't get far with that attitude. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She says it's not only about this moment and where you were going. You have to find yourself first, then everything else will follow.
Kala.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out.
Ikofi.
He asks you to stop right there and wonders.
Mapa ole pep salora.
He's not scared of anything, least of all you.
Masai onara.
There's no way they'll let you pass.
Linefu.
He wants to know who you think you are.
Mapa ole pep salora.
He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes you.
Arialoche nui mumera.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Dere?
She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment as Sifu, and when she needs them, they're there for her and each other.
Anaro lote.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Ritsentede.
It's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best.
Badya analo.
He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training.
Sekaya lama yaba.
He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all.
Mustakabala no kondonash.
He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you've found.
Why add food lea haya?
He's gathered so much over the years, and it's hard to remember everything. Nothing's wrong with his memory. It's just short.
Over bug ad.
He says it's about time you learned how, and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
Selafat.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Dana untiza fela.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
In mo.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Muma says it's about time you got here. Says being on time would be better yet. She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. You should just keep working and you'll do well. Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Catchy. Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful. A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device. It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see. You should think of it as watching over you when she can't. Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day. Everything ends, both good and bad. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Chienzino. Camonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming. Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. Let's see. Let's see. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose.
Hafaye hufaye.
They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you.
Avavavde urui.
A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting for you at Myriad's Vespidut outpost.
Oi lad hoa.
You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.
Oi lad hoa.
Mercy is for the weak. The Jagni tribe seek no one's sympathy. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Look, an emergency box from the old days. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Seemed like this night might never end. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Might not need that now. But you will later. Chop it up. The tribes need someone to unite them. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. Every little bit helps. Step back, world. That's a keeper. The Tree of Life still stands. Question is, for how long? The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on... The rails used to be filled with chugs packed tight with two-leggeds, like guppos in a tin. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomper Bonker's busy around banging the door. This is your chance. Let's see. That ain't bad. Nothing's more important right now than this. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
Sad to see the Tree of Life is going to die and take everything with it, but it's not like... Understands why you're bent on finishing the world off. Wonders if you liked working with the Jagni. They always hunker down in their homes, gathering their things around them. But that's not important. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here... He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton. Start it. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. It's big and fluffy. That's accurate. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can... Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. Current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. We're all heroes of our own stories, or so we hope. This box once tailed a chugga-chugga. Now it's just off track. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. The sky is as bright as it's going to be. A real treasure. Everyone loves a good hat. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Now that's a flesh wound. Amazing how the forest is doing so well, while the tree of life is dying. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. A flush stool from the... Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. Good to be able to get stuff done while the world is awake. That's for someone a little bit more advanced. Would you... Looks like the fry sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. It's a fry sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. Nothing like a story with an unexpected ending. You don't see that in the shops. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. When Toxanol abandoned the place, it fell apart fast. Not too many like living in a ruin hole like this. The tracks moved on from Bricktown, and you should too. That wasn't your tum-tum rumbling. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. You really put a spin on it. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Shut. Personal. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you only follow your own personal code and is worried you've lost your respect for life. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only It's sad to see you're staying on this road to ruin and that you're so determined to help no one other than yourself.
See? On my side. Go, Dark, go!
First instincts can be truly awful.
The fun thing is always the right thing.
Next time, look at it with a clear heart.
Darkly dark, dark.
Are you scared yet? It's getting dark. You can last longer. That's a myriad tribe outpost. Slash and dash. Punch the ticket. You're low on health. hard not to want to. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery. Let's see. The Vespidut outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe. Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your tribe is a terror to their Murder and mayhem and other terrible things happen. He's sure you've seen it before. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. wrecked it. Give those twirly wheels a turn. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Yes, the river tub's going down the drain. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. Says they've been treated fair, but is glad to see you. Hopes you'll treat. Wishes there was another way, but they'll do their best. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Believes you'll be even more dangerous with it. He knows things that you need to know. The rival tribe still has 2 outposts left. It's up to you to change that. Heard you were a shy kid and is sorry to see you so warped now. So, says you covered the important things already. He knows things that you need to know. Didn't have much else to say. Couldn't stand another hour of daylight. Squawks about how weak the lotus are now compared to the Jagni. Couldn't even undrown themselves. So, says you covered the... Bring on the night. Says you should take the time to enjoy what we have while you watch the leaves fall from the tree of life. They love the juice that Jumble makes. So good. He gathers ingredients from all over, surprisingly tasty. Claims Jumble travels everywhere, so he could be anywhere. Says it's hard to find Jumble, but it's so worth the effort. Keep on the lookout for him, and you should find him. Then buy a juice from him fast, before he runs out. Thinks you're not the only one. Thinks you got the right idea. Says you should take care. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things. Says then. Says you'll get a... Says everything's changing in these dark coming days. Nothing stays the same. Not even the houses. Have you heard of Chubza? Such a wild wanderer. Even his hut moves. But he'd have a lot to talk about with Aroma. Says they've seen him in... Says Chubza isn't the sort to wait in one... They might be looking... You just got to watch for Chubza and his mobile... Says that... Says that lying here in the sun isn't a bad way to wait for the end. It's warm. Claims there's a machine out there that can turn sunshine into go juice. If you can find it and fix it up, you can juice your gear all day long. Says they're not sure where the solar... Get that solar mirror fixed up. Right up until the sun burns. Peddler is eager for you. Better shake a leg. Yours, theirs, whatever. Let's see.